right, guys, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. Thank you for your company. I already have someone telling me they'll miss me. So sweet. You say, hey, Joyce, how are you? I'm Jessie from LD, and I like and love your show, and I have really learned a lot from the show. We will miss you. Asante sana. But of course, remember, Full Circle with Joyce will still be continuing on with Mikali, who'll be holding fort for me, so you're in very good hands. Okay, so please do keep watching over the next several days. But before we jump into our viewpoint discussion, I just want to remind you about the offer from Aladdin. Aladdin is offering a 90% discount when you shop off their clothing or groceries online. As our dear audience on Switch TV, you get yourself an extra discount of 200 Kenya shillings when you use the coupon code SWH 200. That's SWH 200. For 200 bob off. Your goods will be delivered within 48 hours of request. So please do get shopping with Aladdin. But with that said, we're going to jump straight into our viewpoint discussion for the day. And as we did mention, today we want to talk about whether social media has contributed to moral degradation, not just in Kenya, but I guess even globally. And I know a lot of people have opinions on this, so I do invite you to send in your comments and your feedback to 22999. You can also reach us on our social media platforms on Facebook at Switch TV Kenya, on Twitter as well, and on Instagram at Switch TV KE. So let's introduce our guests here today. Of course, here we have Benjamin Zulu, very common face on Relationship Tuesday. Leo umekuja kazi serious.
Leo nimekuja kazi serious.
Leo hakuna kuchekacheka tu.
Is it forbidden?
No, we can still laugh. Ni Friday, ni
Okay,
furahi day.
okay.
But I also have with me Joe Mwangi, who's a motivational speaker. Karibu sana to the show. And of course, Mikali will be conducting this interview with me. Now, gentlemen and lady, Ezekiel Mutua is now blaming Kenyans for a primary school boy's viral video. I'm sure you both have at least seen portions of it. Mutua is pointing an accusing finger at Kenyans after a primary school boy made headlines over a video. And I believe we have his Facebook post is what that is on your screens right now. So this young boy made headlines over a video that he recorded of himself hurling obscenities at a schoolmate. Dr. Mutua blamed Kenyans for burying their heads in the sand when political leaders and city preachers use vulgar language and trend by doing crazy, controversial things. He adds on to say that this is the root cause of the problem that is making underage boys and girls copy the bad behavior, thinking foul language, controversy, and profanity sells. Very strong sentiments, of course, there by one Dr. Ezekiel Mutua. And we want to tackle that right now. And so, straight off the bat, do you agree with him? Is social media to blame for moral decay in society today? Benjamin, let's begin with you.
I don't. Social media is an inanimate thing. It's neither here nor there. It's neutral. It's how we use it. Somebody said, when you see the wind vane facing south, don't blame the wind vane, blame the wind. Ati hawa kama ni huyo mtoto, whatever they are talking with children, it's what they have been taking in. It's the environment they've been growing in. It's the home. I don't think social media has anything so much to do with it, because this kid had a phone to record what they want and put on an account. How did they create the account? And they even went ahead to record the so-called apology, went home to post another one, I don't know, with a cousin. And I was telling people, don't single-handedly pick this kid, because this kid is just pushing boundaries for his colleagues. There are many of them. Even one of them, the Daily Nation is saying, another one wants to be as famous as this one. So if you ask me, I'll tell you that the problem is coming from the home. And I told people, you don't need to give me the history of these kids. I'm a psychologist, I can profile them for you. They're coming from a dysfunctional home. Sick homes produce sick children. So the sickness we have at home is what we are taking to social media. It's the vulgarity there. The boy was uttering things you can't print, and he was not blinking, because that's normal to him. And he's wondering, what are you guys talking about? So if you ask me, it's the sickness at home that we have uploaded to social media.
My goodness. Well, that means if we didn't have the gadgets, then definitely we'd not get to see, but then it doesn't mean that it's not happening, really.
With social media, we can market it. When you upload it, you make it popular. So now you're famous.
My goodness.
So, speaking of these gadgets then, Joe, you know, Is this the point where, I don't know if you, at what point you got, your phone, or
Yeah.
for your children, if you would say, at this point you can now have a phone. Are these gadgets, is it partly to blame with the gadgets, and should we now be saying maybe we need to have tighter controls on that?
Again, that comes back to the point made by this gentleman about sick homes producing sick children, and that being now uploaded and pushed and marketed.
Yeah.
I want to also say that the gadgets, the social media, they can't be blamed. I'll take it to parenting, because in its actual sense, parenting is a gradual transfer of power from the parent to the children until all the power is with the child. You get that? So if this parent is not powerful, what power is he going to transfer? So it starts at the parent, that this person is transferred. If you don't take parenting as transfer of power, that you are passing on this power to this child, and we are disciplining the conduct of the children, it's not about we the adults controlling the young people, but we empowering the young people to control themselves. So that even if I am not under the watch of my parent, I can still have an inner guiding voice telling me what to do and what is right. That I can have conduct, I can have ethic as a person, wherever I am, whether I'm in Australia, whether I'm in wherever I go, because I was given some inner guiding voice.
So you're saying whether we have the gadgets or not,
Yes.
it's about those principles and the values at which we're raised.
Yes, because even in this era, we still have responsible children
That's true.
who have a lot of those gadgets, actually even better gadgets than the small gadget that boy was using.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me add something.
Yeah.
You need to check your child and see how responsible and self-controlling they can be before you give them a gadget. You ladies are fond of rewarding them with gadgets after they get 400 marks.
Ladies,
Yeah, we say
ladies, why,
Mothers,
why
sorry.
ladies?
Mothers can be manipulated by the boys faster.
True.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the father sometimes also, but I know we as men sometimes are just straightforward. You
Yeah.
get a gadget after 18. Whether you get 450 marks or 499 or 202, I don't care. It's nothing to do with the gadget. So I think sometimes it's asking how able is my child to observe boundaries. Huyu mtoto wako kama ungemchukua umpeleke Nairobi City at the center, umwachilie hapo. Ulimfungia gate unakwambia watchman asitoke. Ukimpatia simu umelete dunia nyumbani. Ulisema mtoto asipelekwe duniani lakini umelete dunia nyumbani. Giving this kid the phone is like opening the whole world to them. Check the ability of their child to self-regulate and give them gradual freedom, because freedom is not a space to do what you want. It's a room to do what you ought to do. So if the child does not have enough regulation to do what they ought to do, giving them a phone is self-destruction.
Well, that's a very interesting point then.
Yes.
Building this self-regulation within ourselves
Yes.
as adults and passing it on to children. How do you establish that though? Because the world is moving very quickly. Things are changing. People are adapting. And there's also a point for if the parents themselves can't stay off their phones.
Yeah.
How do you expect the children to stay off their phones? So how, forget the kids for now, how do we even
Because
as
they've
adults
already mentioned that the problem starts with that.
Exactly.
Wewe wacha nikwambie, mimi na mtoto hatutoshani. Nilimaliza utoto wangu, yeye afanye wake. So this is my point. This is what I think. From the time the child is born, mwache kuajiri 2 house helps you.
Oh.
One for the child specifically, the other one for the house, so that you don't have dealing with the child. I have so many homes where 2 house helps, one for the house, another for the child. So the child is being grown by remote control. Umepatia mtoto chakula, umemwasha, alafu amelala. So the child never gets values.
Yeah.
I'm saying establish contact with your child from onset. When the child is born, the doctors ask you to have skin-to-skin contact. Yeah. So there's a contact. You can have assistants. They are called house helps, not house overtakers. Let them help you, not overtake parenting. So I encourage mother-child direct contact. Values, let them be passed. Ukae na yeye ukimwambia that's wrong, Junior. Don't do that. Don't do this. Na wache kumbembeleza. Please eat. Please do this. From the time the child hata kabla ajue kuongea akikuuma nyonyo munini, ajue that's wrong. From that time.
I can't wait to meet your children.
I know.
You will be the
Do you have
strictest
children,
parents.
Benjamin?
Thank God I'm not the mother. I'm only 4 years into marriage, but I'm ready for that. Let them come.
Okay. Ezekiel Mutua has gone out to just say that sisi kama wazazi, sisi kama society. So it's not just, remember back in the day, Likuwa, a child belongs to the society.
Yes.
So if you'd walk around the streets and see a child misbehaving,
You would
then
discipline.
you would discipline.
Today you do that, I take you to court.
Exactly. So where did we go wrong? At what point did we change as a society? Because now we're moving away from just the parents of these kids to the society at large?
And I can see he's
Joe,
running something.
yeah, I can see. He was
No,
gearing to go.
my point would go to the regulatory bodies. For example, maybe the government. In as much as we are blaming the children and the parents on whatever they do at home and how the society is changing and how the moral fabric is getting torn, I still think that the government has got a place to play in control of what comes on media or what is popularized. Because the reason why this boy is saying, I want to be as popular as so-and-so, is because today popularity is seen as wealth. That whoever is popular is rich. Kindly, I ask you people in media, tell these children that even very most popular people in this country are very broke. Please
true.
help them to understand
Very true.
that being popular, being on TV, does not mean you're rich.
Yeah.
And there is this craze of wanting to look rich and forgetting to be rich.
Yeah.
Are you getting that? That I would better look like and not even be.
Joe, let me add something there.
Yeah.
Watu wawili wakaenda sokoni, mmoja na nyani, mwingine na mbuzi. Nani alivutia crowd? Nyani. Nani alienda nyumbani na pesa? Mwenye ako na mbuzi. I just wanted to support that.
That is the
Popularity is
point.
not always money.
So these people need to understand that it's not just about being popular. It's about value. What value do you bring to the marketplace? There are so many unknown Kenyans who are so rich, richer than so many politicians who go out giving 2,000 or 2 million. There are guys who are damn rich in this country and they pay their taxes and they are not known and don't want to be known. And therefore the other thing again, when it comes to if you do a bad song, like this song which has got all the profanity and everything in it, and it's a bad song. The other day I was at home. I don't want to say K what. They are playing a song which is so bad to me. I think it's so bad. Then my baby asked me, she's in class 2, Daddy wa mlambe nini? What was I supposed to tell my daughter? Okay, my daughter believes I answer all her questions. The other day my daughter was fearing to go to have her teeth removed. She was crying. So I told my daughter, you are the most brave girl in this estate. And again, you are the daughter of Joe Mwangi. You can't be afraid. She never cried. So she believes I'm the guy. Then she asked me, what is Wamlambe? What am I supposed to tell my daughter who Wamlambe is? How do I, she asked me on that, and I answer her questions. How do I go? And the song is playing on media. Then I say this, you take these guys to court. Another judge will say it's not wrong. Another one will say this. So there's a lot of bureaucratic inefficiency in prosecuting these people who are bringing obscenity to our sitting rooms.
Let me ask you, Joe, then, because someone would say it's freedom of speech.
You see, he said about freedom. Freedom is not about having space to do whatever you want.
Right.
It's about
to do what is right.
To do what is right.
Because just because you have rights does not mean you don't have responsibilities. Restraint. So
that's it. And then again, your rights are your rights. They should not infringe on my rights to bring up my daughter just because you have a right. You say, my dress, my choice. But even how I judge you is my choice. You cannot have two choices. You can dress the way you want, that's your choice. But how I look at you is my choice. Why should you choose twice?
Okay.
Wow. It's very interesting, but I don't know what we would do about that music and all that content that is on air, which is something that should be personal even for the people who are doing it. But then it all starts over here because they need to stop thinking that the more profanities I put in a song, then the more popular I become.
Yeah, but it also speaks to where our society has, how far we've gone off the track.
It's true.
In many ways.
Can we blame the media? Can we blame the media somehow?
By just calling it media, you said it's only a transfer agent. Medium is between two sources. So there's a source and recipient.
Exactly.
So although medium will spread what I sent at the source. So let's also let's talk about the singer of the song. Let's talk about us, because at least now the daughter is the father. That daughter will never sing that because the dude will discourage it.
Let's
and
talk about the guys who give it millions of
Thank
views
you.
on
Thank
YouTube.
you. So let's talk about this. I wanted to, one is the system problem. But the system problem, if I tell you to go and correct it now, you may never correct it in your lifetime. We need collective action. Let me tell you about individualized solutions then. So at where we are is direct contact with your child, the way he is doing the daughter. I can tell you that daughter will end up well. Despite there's a book that is written called Staying Sober in a Crazy World. And one solution to keep your child sober in a drowning world is to teach them values and tell them not everybody believes the right things, not everybody is doing that. Well, I think one reason our musicians are
support that.
singing dirtiness is because they lack material. They have no creativity.
You got the point.
They are so empty.
Yes.
They are not. They don't have content to educate
you are
us.
expecting too much from guys who have so little.
Yeah.
Or nothing.
Kumbuka
That
nyimbo za
is- or
60s,
nothing.
80s kitambo zile tunaita whatever zilizopendwa.
Zilizopendwa.
They were stories. Ati nilienda airport, nilikuwa nangoja mpenzi wangu akakuja na mzungu. Nikavunjika nikaongea Kitaita, Kikamba. It was
They
entertaining.
didn't need to
It
use
was-
profanities.
it was
It's
literature.
true.
A song,
It was literature.
a
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Today we don't have stories, we don't have literature, we don't have creativity, it's vulgarity. What are you having in comedy? People are trying to entertain you and they have innuendos that you can't listen with your child. So I think it's about us, those who are artists and you who are in the public, because we have told you you are not the source, you are just passing it on. So not give the whole blame to the medium, the messenger. I'll talk about the one who is sending.
There's a
and
book.
say,
It's a book I did some other day,
Yes.
done by a guy called Oxo Park. It's called Navigating the Heart. And he was trying to bring across some very important point. I like to say it here. That many people or like big cars, good cars with big engines. And he was trying to ask, in a vehicle, what is very important? And many people say the engine. Engine, CC, tukubwa. But the most important thing in a car is the brakes.
Yeah.
Because if you have got that Ferrari going at 300 kilometers per hour without brakes, that day you will respect brakes. So this guy who gets an A, gets a B plus, gets a what, and has no values, that's an accident in waiting.
Yeah.
And that's why we are having it going wayward every single day, because we have got very bright guys without values.
Correct.
Without brakes. Without
I'm
yeah.
remembering the times, when I was growing up, even shows like The Bold and the Beautiful.
Whoa.
Even when they kiss on the cheek, Mother, you're there with your parents like this, like, guy, Mother, what is
Joyce, you were
happening?
left to watch when it started.
No, we
Dun,
couldn't.
dun, 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 dun. Go to
Go to your
bed.
room.
Bed.
And now to see, it really breaks my heart, to be honest, to see these young girls, you've not even gotten a college degree, like there's nothing to your name.
true.
And you're there with
Nobody
your
knows you.
body all over the TV screen, you're naked, you're gyrating yourself. To me, it's such a sad, anyway, that's my own personal opinion. But, I just think it's a very sad state of affairs. And I think I'm really puzzled by how did we get from there to this? Because it's like night and day. I mean, the levels of promiscuity are so openly outrageous. There's no apology for it. By the time you're singing a song like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've taken, so whereas people were doing romantic love stories,
Yes.
now we've made songs
No.
about your activities
Soft
in the bedroom.
pornography,
romance.
really.
Soft
No.
pornography,
It
exactly.
is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I wanted to mention about pathology. When I saw that, I was telling somebody, I told him, behold, the emergence of a sociopath. This is how a sociopath is made. A person without social conscience of what is wrong, what is offending, and what is right. But I want to tell you about something. Be careful. I was talking, one of the schools I speak to, he told me that they're having a problem. On the day of reporting, only mothers are bringing the sons, and it's a boys' school. And he told me this, the mothers, the way they are dressed, you can imagine what this boy lives with.
dear.
So he was telling me, go tell mothers, because you speak to them, go tell them that let them also tag the fathers along. There are some things that the boys need to see. But this is what I wanted to say. Kama mtoto amelelewa familia ambayo ashapoteza heshima ya mama, atachukia wanawake wote.
It's
That boy was talking with hatred, not just to that girl, but to general women fraternity. As a psychologist, I could see that. He was, ukipoteza, as a child, the only role models you have is where you are growing. Children, did you hear that the whale, as big as it is, if it grows in a tank, it can only go 3 feet long, as big as it is. But in the ocean, it grows very big. So children like that, they just adapt where they're growing in. So I'm saying, much as you're bringing a child, don't just say your life is your life. Children are wet concrete. It's good to bring up balanced children. If you're always drinking into clubs and a bar and all that, the child comes to hate. And then they'll hate everybody who resembles you, or women in general. And the same to boys, girls hating all men in general.
It is
So
heavy.
it could hear hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we've talked about music videos and artists
Yes.
and thespians and all those put together. But then our politicians, at what point, if you look at them and the conversations they have,
Great point, because just the other day, one of them was
know?
on stage somewhere,
Yeah.
talking so
ill, like I don't know, it's not something you want to hear from a leader. So this
Yeah.
is not even the small boys who are doing these videos.
Yeah.
This is someone who is a political
Yeah,
leader who
and
is
so many wanna
and
emulate
demeaning
him.
women in that way in front of every news. Is time for everyone to watch
you know
TV.
what I think?
Yes, Joe.
Let me say this. About 3 years ago, I got a chance to speak in Bomas of Kenya during the prefects trainings for the nation. And they were having small discussions in the symposiums talking about our leaders are corrupt, our leaders are bad. But I said, wait a minute. These leaders are chosen by us. And therefore, the leaders are a reflection of the society. That is the average. The summation with the average, the leaders are just us. If you kama viongozi, tunasema kiongozi wetu ni mwizi. Basi sisi ndio wezi, tukachagua mwizi moja atuongoze. Si ati ni mapasta, tukaleta mwizi. Are you getting that? Let me ask you. Kama unakunywa uji asubuhi, ikumwagikie kwa mdomo, ukijiangalia kwa kioo, si utaona uko na uji? Unapanguza kioo. Do you wipe the mirror? You wipe yourself. So in as much as we are saying, oh, these leaders, it's just us.
It's a reflection.
That is us now.
Yeah.
If we were to send them for a conference, they will be representing us. Their bad manners, that is just us. Just
Mungu
like,
Baba's
I
idea.
know, tusaidiwe sana. And on that note, we're going to take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back. This is Full Circle with Joyce.
All right, guys, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. If you're just joining me, I do have a co-host today. She goes by the name Wikali. She'll be holding fort for me and over the next 2 weeks while I'm away. But I see you guys are being very nice. Lots of people welcoming you here to Full Circle with Joyce and to Switch TV, Wikali. On our SMS line here, I see, wow, Wikali, welcome. It's such an inspiration to hear from you in the mornings. Your energy and positivity makes one look forward to the day. That's great. Asante sana. Someone else says, Full Circle with Joyce, I don't blame the parents, but our policies are too weak. Even the pastors' kids can do the same. This, of course, is around our discussion today of whether social media is contributing to moral degradation. We're looking at the sort of statements our politicians make. These viral videos that have been going on, that we've been seeing on social media, of young kids really just blurting out obscenities, and also even the type of music that our society is now consuming. Someone else here saying, loving the discussion. So happy to see Mwikali on Full Circle with Joyce. Joyce Takumis, asante sana. Someone else saying, where was this one? Okay, good morning, Joyce. Looking good. You've been watching on a daily basis. That's Rosie Mugaru, tuned in from Thika. Fiona from Maua, you say, hey, Joyce, love your show a lot. We'll miss you. Asante. Of course, I'll be back. I don't want to say I'll miss you and people think I'm going forever. I'll be back soon. But Mwikali, what do we have on Facebook?
I have Iman James saying Benja is funny when explaining some things.
Yeah.
I agree. Favor M. Kimeo says, I love the show, and he continues to say he's tuned in. My take is building up self-esteem of the children will help at some point because lazima maisha digital itaendelea. Well, concerning the phones, utamnyima, but then ataomba nje. So utafunga hiyo gate aruke fence. Yeah.
Kwa sababu anajua akiruka hakuna kitu atafanyiwa. Kama angeruka na afanyiwe kitu anasema I will never again. They will still, so it's about the parents' level of control.
Okay.
Don't reach a point useme huyu amenishinda. Ukisema hivyo it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. And if you are parenting alone, because some people are married but they're parenting alone, married but single parenting, you better import a father authority if you are dealing with a boy.
Okay.
So that even if it's Joy is a motivation speaker, I'm a psychologist, go to somebody, connect with this boy, talk to them. Let there be a voice that tells them the rewards of observing boundaries.
Absolutely.
what this guy is saying, eh?
Yeah.
This is my observation. When we were young, our parents were very tough. My dad and mom were teachers. And I will tell you that having a parent who is a teacher is good.
We should tell you, Paul.
But when they are two, it's like growing up in the staff room. Life is very tough.
Yeah.
And kids that
No wonder he looks
Very proper.
kids that were not disciplined when we were young, they looked happier than us.
You're right.
Later in life, we look happier than them.
Correct. Yeah.
Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Because that's life. Discipline is not sweet. But
Yeah.
later in the days,
It pays off.
that child is not only an asset to himself,
Yeah.
even to society.
Joe, my dad
Yes.
says exactly that. He was a disciplinarian. What? Papa.
No wonder you're here.
Yes. He says that all the time.
Well, let me pose this question to you guys,
Yes.
though,
Yeah.
because there are some people out there who are saying we're blowing this whole thing out of proportion. They're arguing that it's just one child, one video that went viral, and so why are we assuming that it's everyone's child now, or that the entire generation? Hey, Benjamin is ready.
Yeah, me
Waka
very.
moto.
Like we're okay, sour.
You can finish my question. But you know, some people out there would say, you know, why are we sort of making this a blanket statement over the entire generation of young
Because that's
Kenyans?
our natural response to saying that's their problem. Me, I don't have that problem. And let me tell you that burying our head in the sand for a while can cool the head, but the whole body is still exposed. Let's say this. One, hata kama huyu mtoto alikuwa extreme, tunajua wale wengine wana develop pole pole ikiwa in closed, na ile time ataenda university akiacquire social autonomy, aondokee kanisa, aondokee shule na aondokee nyumbani wazazi, akienda kule, that's when they explode with what they were hiding. So what I'm saying is we can't say this is an isolated problem. Anasema the principle in farming is ng'ombe moja akikohoa immunize wote. The virus is around. This kid popularized that kind of a thing.
To the point of one wanting to be that
Already
famous.
you've seen the papers are picking.
Yeah.
Boys who are saying from the same school.
Yes.
I want to, and that's one of the finest schools we have.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that's a good school. It's not a bad school. But schools don't replace families, don't replace families. So huyu ni mtu anafanya what our instinctive nature is to say, haijanifikia, you know, it's not in my
Yeah,
problem.
and you see that blame game is what is bringing us here.
Correct.
Where everybody thinks it's not my problem. Someone blames everyone, everyone says, you know, and therefore you find at the end of the day, nobody owns up, nobody feels genuinely concerned about these children.
Correct.
And you see, so we are not minding about the next generation as long as we can have our lives now. And therefore these kids are growing up without our role modeling. We don't own up the problem.
You're right.
Even when you're testing for malaria, you don't put all the blood in a bucket. You just do some small
Correct. Sampling.
and you know you are sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
That boy is enough to tell us things are wrong.
Sample.
We don't need 100 boys.
Ogo Kalinda on Facebook says, tuned in from Eldoret, the conversation is fire. The Mlambezo of Mnyonye's generation is blamed from the modern parenting. Parents don't have time for their children. They're busy looking for money instead of sparing some time for their children, which is what you were
Asante
talking
for
about.
saying that.
And this pushes the children to social media and copying everything without filtering what is good or bad, ending up consuming everything they come across.
Because at home tumesema ni house help na gateman, alafu driver anampeleka shule, anampatia mwalimu akimaliza patia driver apelekee watchman, alafu apatie house help.
Wow.
So
That looks
it's
bad.
money.
and then key parents, because we are feeling our absence. You see, you cannot not feel your absence. You will feel it.
Yeah.
So you replace your absence with
the gadgets.
With gadgets.
Thank you.
So instead of giving your kids presents, you give them presents. Mtoto anakuuliza mama, unarudi lini? Unataka nini? So the question is, unarudi lini? Unataka nini?
Yeah.
So parents are busy, we are busy giving our children things. And instead, one principal of Njoro Gauss once told me that let's not give our children things.
Yeah.
Let's give them wings. Because kids who have got wings, they can fly anywhere.
Yeah.
But if you work so hard, I want to invest for them, don't invest for them.
Actually,
Invest in them.
Thank you.
Wow.
They will go further.
It's
I
not
think you
what-
need to repeat that statement.
Yeah.
That don't invest for them.
Yeah.
Invest in them.
Yeah.
My father has not given me inheritance, but I'm still making it.
Yeah.
Because I have the mechanism of making it in this Nairobi.
Yeah.
I came with a suitcase in Nairobi and I became someone.
Yeah.
And I found guys who had everything, and now we are buying off those things. It's
Yeah.
not about the things, it's about the wings, the
It's
power.
not about presents,
Yes.
gifts.
It's about
Zawadi,
presents.
it's about presents.
Good.
Oh, that's a big
The
statement.
values will last more than the millions.
That is it.
The values the child
I feel
has.
like we're having like, you know, like we need to have like it's a whole session.
The values
Wow.
we put in the children,
Yes.
Yes.
like integrity, like morals, like
Honesty.
respect, that will take the child further than the money you left in the account.
Yeah.
But what we are saying is we are replacing our work with money. Dalai Lama is one of the, he was asked what amazes him about people. He said they sacrifice their health to make wealth, and then they have to give up the wealth to get back their health.
health.
And they
That's
never
what we
get
do
it.
with our children. We sacrifice parenting to get money. Then we have to use the money to do what we should have done as parents.
Yeah.
Now we are having like you know, approved schools. We are having rehab centers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many men are into alcoholism. You have had the cry about boy child, and I told people it's not the boy child, it's the boy father. It's the father who is missing.
Wow.
He said, look, go for the man.
Someone said, it's cheaper to make a boy into a man than to repair a broken man.
You're right.
Wow.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
What are we doing with the alcohol?
Yes,
We're
cheaper.
advertising it everywhere.
Is
Come
there
drink,
hope?
come drink at the table of men. So they think men, when you grow up, you go to the club.
Yeah.
But is there hope? Is there
There's
hope?
hope. Yes,
There's
here
hope.
it is.
Okay.
Your own child. Start there.
That's
Let's
your
stop
hope.
complaining out here. Oh, things are bad. Go home. Work on your child.
Okay.
Number 2, parent those children. You don't have parents to parent them.
Yeah.
They look up to you.
Yeah.
She's going on leave. I'm sure so many kids are waiting for her just to interact. Oh, Auntie Joyce, you're here and all that. That time to just play with them, ask them, you know, apart from school, because tuache kuambia grades peke yake.
Yeah, it's true.
Unajua how parents tell you, huyu wangu ni msharp, anakuanga number 2. Okay, ako number 2 darasani, but kwa manners ako namba ngapi? Kwa kudansi amulambeza ako namba ngapi? Do the child know what is right, what is wrong? Are they kind? Do they forgive? Can they switch off the wrong things?
Jameni, wacha tukupe.
Tuache kusifu grades.
Yes.
Let's sifu
That's it.
humanity,
That's
kindness, principles, stability. When I was dating, last one, when I was dating, I was not looking for an airplane because I didn't want to start a university with my wife.
Well, what?
I was looking for values. I said, if I get a child overseas and she has values, she knows how to stay at home, and I can trust her and sleep when she's away. That I want that. So let's value values
Makes all the
more
sense.
even than grades.
Yeah.
Some other day, a guy came to me. My brother was campaigning, and there's a guy who was very instrumental in the campaigns. And so after the campaigns, of course, the politicians will look for jobs for people.
Alipita.
My brother didn't akupita.
Oh.
Unajua,
Next time.
watu waliniuliza, mbona brother wako alianguka kiti? Ni kwa sababu alikuwa amesimama.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
then
Mwenye
I-
kwa amesimama angeanguka
wewe huku
kama
anguka.
mimi.
That's it. So this guy, I got him a job in a friend's company.
Okay.
And the job he was doing was being paid 4,000. This job I got for him without an interview. He was given 30,000. He went there and stole money.
No.
So this guy lacks honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that, the value becomes more important than the money.
Yeah.
Now I have many places to take him, but I will not.
Yeah.
I have a lot of openings. I won't give
You
him.
datify your name.
Of course,
Ule mtu ulituletea
atanichafulia.
ni mwizi.
That is it. So
Ata-
therefore,
Atasema ulimtuma.
that's it. So these values, we need to give them to our children.
Absolutely.
Because somewhere along the way, it will make them powerful.
Wow,
Okay.
gentlemen,
Wow.
thank you so much for this very electrifying discussion. It surely has been. Tunawashukuru sana Benjamin Zulu, of course, Joe Mwangi, asanteni
Can you
sana.
mention Facebook?
Yes, very
My
quickly.
Facebook is Zulu Benjamin. Facebook Zulu Benjamin.
All right, and for you?
Jomwangi Inspirations.
Joe Mwangi Inspirations on Facebook.
Yeah.
Guys, we need to call this discussion for now, but certainly lots to keep in mind as far as your own impact and how you're using social media to either uplift or degrade the values of our society. But coming up next, we're going to bring back our couch as we get ready for our second hour where we focus in on style and culture. This is Full Circle with Joyce. Please do keep watching.